Okay, welcome to Real Talk 105. We have a live interview tonight with Jonny from Path Ahead, a new band out there. We are going to be having a live talk interview, but hey ho, it's safe to go. We also have Sharon in the call.
I was wondering when you were coming round to me. Hello.
So, right, let's get this interview on the road.
Sharon Idle, of course.
Yeah. And Jonny.
Hi there.
Oh god. So,
That's throwing you in there.
We're going to start off with, what do you want to begin with? Shazza? Anything?
Sorry, what's that?
Anything you want to start off with?
Well, I thought you were starting off.
I just have. I've done the intro into the show.
Are we on air right now? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah, this is actually a show, would you believe?
I wasn't quite sure.
No, nor was I.
Oh.
Ah, God, that didn't save my life. Ah, God. So, Jonny, we have got music of yours, but obviously for iHeart's publicity, we cannot play it on this show because they don't permit music unless it's 30 seconds long. So this interview is really going to bonk us up, but let's get on the road. Okay. When did you start playing music?
Well, I've been playing music for the last probably 9-10 years, and I've always enjoyed writing music. And a few years ago, I got together all this solo material, and it was all I had it all written, all the instrumentation was there. But when I was playing it with just me and my acoustic guitar, or just me and the piano, it didn't quite work because it needed something bigger. So I wanted to put together a band, and because I take my music quite seriously, because it's my real passion in life. I wanted to put together a band of people who had that same passion, who wanted to have a bit of fun, but also take things seriously and try and make some really good music. So I actually booked us a show for a month's time before I'd even put the band together. So I then had to go around, source people, say, look, we have a show in this many weeks. Are you in? Are you out? And that kind of forced people into making a decision. And since then, we got all our material. We got into a good kind of practicing rhythm, and it's all just been taking off from there.
God, that was putting people on the spot a little bit, yeah? But it's good that it worked out for you. Flipping heck, I am so surprised. That's one way of getting sort of the impetus going, I guess. We are doing a gig. Are you in or not?
I mean, the way I look at things, if I had to give advice to anyone out there starting a band or trying to get a band recording, I would say, if you want something done, do it yourself. There's so many musicians out there who are relying on labels and other people to get them recording, and really the only way you can be sure that something gets done is by doing it yourself. So I think I think that just being proactive is the way to go, really.
Yeah, well, even if you want to get signed up to a label, first thing you're going to have to do, particularly these days, labels are looking out for artists who know their stuff, who they don't have to train up and from scratch, basically. So they're looking for artists who who can do their own marketing, who are making a success of it, who have their own fan base and everything like that. So, you've got to do it all yourself first before even a label will look at you.
Oh, exactly. I mean, the shame in the music industry today is that everything's focused around money. So if you go to the record label and they know that you've already got a good thing going, you're already marketing yourself, yourself, you have a good understanding, you have music already recorded to play them, then they'll know that they will have more of a chance of getting money from you. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, that's what it's about. I wish it wasn't about that. I wish it was just about putting out good music, and that's what I want to do. But you have to look at it from the business as well.
But having said that, it makes you wonder about One Direction, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, well, all those formula things, they're put together with, you know, pre-written music, and well, it's all subscribing to a formula, really. And I think that's a great shame, because that's just it's not music, it's industry, and it's completely different. And I think it's bad that it's brainwashing all these young people into thinking that it's cool to listen and like that sort of music, and as a result, the real artists who are putting in the hard work, who are trying to send a message out there, and who are trying to make an honest living, aren't getting anything, because the masses are subscribing to this kind of ideal that's put forward by the labels, and I think that's really pathetic, really.
Something that One Direction did once, they did a cover of, although they announced it as their own tune, it was actually a cover of something that was on it was on a multi-disc album anyway. Clubbing Classics, that's right. Clubbing Classics, the album of your life from back in 2000. They did a cover of something that was on that, and I thought, well, how the hell? What a rip-off, you know? I mean, obviously the artist who wrote the thing, produced it on there, is obviously getting a good thing off it. But how the hell can they call that their own tune? They're hoping people aren't going to remember or realise.
Well, exactly. I think that's a great shame, because they're in that instance they're chasing after money. There is a certain aspect in music that, you know, the same chord sequences are going to be reused, but taking a whole song in its entirety and claiming it as your own. I mean, I oppose in general to the public release of covers as recording. I think that everything that people release should be original. Covers live, by all means, that's fine. It's getting people to sing along. I think originality is something really important today.
Yes, originality is important, but then again, you've got to understand that as an artist, that when you're trying to become, you know, make some kind of a name for yourself, even if you don't become famous enough to get in the charts yet, you've got to get the public interested by releasing covers and sort of bounce off the fame of those who've already made it.
Oh, well, I completely agree. I understand bands who are putting covers on YouTube, because that channels attention to the band through that. But I think it should only act as a pathway to lead to their original music. You know, listen to this cover. Oh, you like our band? You know, hear our actual music.
Yeah,
and in the case of One Direction as well, you know, they're already famous. They don't need to do covers. You know, and they're having people writing music for them, which I think is just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, this is turning into a slating of One Direction. We've gone a bit off topic.
It's a good show.
Okay, I should have stepped in there before we went too far into that role.
I don't know. I thought you did a good show, you know. I think we were doing rather well. I know some people who would love to come in on the show at this point.
Yeah, I think when it comes to formula music, loads of people are incredibly opinionated. I know I'm definitely one of them. So.
Well, I think everyone's got their own opinions on different aspects of music, you know. Even people who aren't musical.
I have no, you know, problem with people liking different types of music. I personally wouldn't listen to a lot of music out there. I'm not a big kind of house or dubstep fan, but I appreciate that people do like that, and I can see how they would. And I think that's fine. What I'm against, I'm not against people listening to music that they like. I'm against people putting out music that isn't original, that isn't honest, and that isn't creative.
Yeah. I tend to agree there, because, like, you know, it's there. Bouncing off someone else's fame too much is just sort of ingenuine, isn't it?
No, absolutely. And it's becoming a thing now. I mean, all these talent shows are just becoming a sort of engine that tries to generate talent rather than finding the talent that's already there. If you look at if you go to local shows and things, you can find it there, and it's trying to generate something that the masses will enjoy. And I think if we stopped trying to generate that, then people would just immediately find themselves attracted to the music that is around them.
Problem is, these talent shows just do not work. I mean, in the case of in the case of that one on ITV, what's it called?
With the X Factor.
The X Factor, yes. That's generated a few new artists, particularly the American one. But for instance, the BBC ones, such as The Voice, and that one that came before it, I can't even remember the name of it now. The one that Alex Parks was on, and she was good, mind.
Well, you do get some really good people on there. But one thing I did like from, I don't know if you remember Matt Cardle, who won the X Factor a while ago, singing in the final. He sung a cover of a Biffy Clyro song, and you hardly ever hear of Matt Cardle nowadays. But because of that, Biffy Clyro has suddenly exploded. So in that sense, it can be a force for good as well. Yeah.
But I mean, the only artists. I mean, look, you remember The Voice, first run of The Voice, 2012.
Yeah.
Leanne Mitchell won it, and eventually when she did produce an album under her new contract that she won, it basically cocked up immediately. It crashed, no one was interested.
Because the whole premise of The Voice was music over appearance, and the public is so focused on appearance
but having
over
said
the music.
having said that, I am kind of online friends with an artist called Becky Hill. Remember her? She was in the semi-finals.
I didn't follow it that far. I only really watched the first rounds.
Alright, well, anyway.
Okay, let's take it off the general.
Yeah. That might be a good idea.
She was on The Voice, and she's going places. She's going to be a big name in the music industry, let's put it that way.
No, yeah, I don't dispute that.
Thanks for your time to talk about Becky Hill.
Oh god. Yeah, Mixie thinks that I'm madly in love with her or something. I'm not. I'm just a fan, But okay, I am, and I'm a fan, yeah.
No, so music can speak to people in different ways, and I don't know her music, but I'm sure that she's very talented.
Well, let's put it this way. Her voice was on the Wilkinson single that got to number 8. She's performed at Glastonbury on the Sonic stage in 2013. Toured the world with Rudimental. She's known sort of internationally now.
Oh well, that's good then. If she's made that kind of path through playing Glastonbury and things like that, I really respect that. I think that's how people should progress, because music is fundamentally about playing live as much as it is about listening to a recording of something, because that's when a band can really come into their own, by showing that energy, showing that passion, and it adds a whole new dynamic which you don't get just by listening to music.
Yeah, I don't really know how to comment on that, because I haven't done a lot of live gigs. In fact, I've done very few, so I'm going to shut up.
Which famous musician do you admire, and why?
Well, I mean, I have. Me personally, I find myself in a lot of rock and kind of folk rock. The big musician out there at the moment, who I'm really inspired by, is Frank Turner. I love what he does with the guitar, but more than that, I love what he does with his lyrics. It's poetic, but at the same time, it's a genuine comment on society that speaks to all generations. And I don't know anyone who's heard of him who doesn't like his music, because it just speaks to everyone in that way. But likewise, I also like the Smiths very much as well, because I think Morrissey has a just absolutely fantastic voice, and that's something that I very much kind of try to take inspiration from. It's quite hard because it's a very stylistic thing, and I really admire his voice. And The Who as well, just because they for their live energy, I think that they're pretty much unparalleled. And their originality, and just it brings out the excitement and just the pursuit of joy that should be behind music. It's very uplifting and hopeful. You get a lot of depressing music nowadays that's just dragging people down.
So what do you think of acts like the 70s acts, the glam rock and all that, Bolan, and I mean Bolan was a legend as far as my consideration goes.
But funny story with Mark Bolan is that the place where he tragically crashed his car and died, that's actually on my road. And
Really?
the memorial tree for Mark Bolan is about 20 metres down from where I live.
Oh my god, I've been 20 metres from
he